had you always set it out to be a musical? Because I mean, this is the real magic of Operation Julie for me, is how you've got these wonderful characters, all wonderfully portrayed by great actors, but also fantastic musicians. How on earth did you get this wonderful ensemble together?
Well, it's all down to Greg Palmer, really. The company has done actor musician shows in the past. We did a show about Tom Jones. We've done Eye of the Storm with the music by Amy Ward. So we do this quite a bit, really. And I absolutely love working with actor musicians. They bring so much to the table, like, which is it's like gold dust, really. They're not going to more wages, but it's just they are very good. But they are fantastic. But Greg had worked, he's done loads of these. I think he's been working for I'd like to say 40 years doing actor musician shows. So, but he loves prog rock. That's his thing, really. And it's his era. So we worked together in the past, and I said, what type of music? Because I was thinking it would go from sort of like hippy dippy music into punk, because it's 77 is the advent of punk as well. So I said to him, and he said, no, you keep it all with the music that they would have been listening to, that they loved. And he's stuck with that, and he's been true to that. And I didn't know. I'd heard of a Hawkwind, and I'd heard of the Moody Blues, but beyond that, and I'd seen Man when I was a teenager, but apart from that, I hadn't heard of any of them before. And I was thinking, how is this going to work like? But honestly, the way he's melded that music and arranged it, I think Caitlin and Keiran will say this, the arrangements are amazing on it, I think. Yeah.
And I would imagine for Keiran and Caitlin that a lot of this music must be a real education to you guys. Were you aware of any of this music before you were in Operation Julie?
I was aware of some of it. There was a Budgie. There was a guy called Burke Shelley who sadly passed away a few years ago. I met Burke Shelley when I first kind of moved back to Wales from London, and there was this guy playing bass in all the jam nights, and he's just, to me as a young, he's just like one of the old boys who's playing. And the guy who ran the jam night, a guy called Tony Moore, he said, that guy over there, Metallica cover his songs. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah, they do. Yeah, he said researcher. He said, look up Bread Fan. I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's Burke, who goes down the 147 Club on a Tuesday night. So I was introduced to Budgie then, but I previously, I didn't know anything about Budgie, the band. I did know a little bit about King Crimson because I used to play in a prog rock band back when I was about 21, and called Magenta, and the guy who wrote the stuff for them was big into all his prog music, like Yes and Genesis and all that stuff. So King Crimson was one of the ones that I was, if I wanted to be in the band, I had to do a bit of homework then, so I was aware of that. But yeah, it's opened my eyes to a lot of new stuff which I wasn't aware of before. Greg's a knowledge, when it comes to that.
Yes, not the same with me. I was completely out of my depth when I started this job. I was like, oh God. I obviously I'd heard some of the songs and I knew of the band, but I'd not listened to them. I was brought up on Phil Collins and Genesis and the kind of if you like the popular prog rock, if you can say that, really, the really well-known stuff.
Like Genesis stuff.
Yeah, so I assumed when I went for my audition, I assumed that it would be like Phil Collins. I was like, but actually even better, that Greg, with his phantom of knowledge he's gone in and he's picked songs that people obviously used to listen to and know, but they're so detailed, aren't they? And they're so full, the arrangements, like Geinor was saying, that he's done is, he's not left a single stone unturned. He's trying to put everything in, but not so that it's too much almost. Sometimes we're playing some of the songs and I'm looking around the stage at everyone and I'm like, everyone's part in this song, even on the tambourine, the shaker, is detailed and it's for a reason. Nobody is ever playing something unnecessarily. It's all well thought out and planned. And that's a testament to Greg, isn't it, really?
Sometimes you've drilled a part as well and do it into your head and you can see him coming towards you, he's going, and I know he's going to change it. I know he's going to make it more difficult. But if he sets the bar there and if you hit it, he goes, right, I think you can go there. Actually, I think you can go there. He keeps improving.
I know for me, coming to see the show twice last week, the whole band, you all owned those tracks on the stage. You were all fantastic, I mean, and by the end of the evening, I mean, when you did Purple Haze, I mean, oh my God, I just whoa. Yeah, I even said to Geinor at the end of Friday evening, you guys have got to put an album out or a soundtrack album out with all those tracks on it, because they'd be incredible. They really, really would. The Operation Julie band, please do it. But both of you individually, can you give me a little bit of background on your paths to Operation Julie? What have you both done in the past?
My path was basically always done music, always done a bit of acting and being a creative person, I suppose. Went off to drama school in London to train as an actor musician in Rose Bruford, then got a cast. I graduated in 2020, so it was obviously a really good year to be like, I'm ready. So I had to like wait 2 years, if you like, and I was still in London. I moved home. I hadn't had work since my first job, which was Panto, rock and roll Panto in Liverpool, and I was kind of starting to panic, to be honest. I was like, oh God. And then a little email came through from Geinor Styles, come and audition for Theatr Nanorg's Operation Julie, and did a bit of research, practiced my pieces, got the job. Met Greg in the room, and he got me to jam along on the drum kit to some Santana, even though I'd gone and practiced like a solo. He's like, oh, don't worry about that. What do you like to listen to? I was like, oh God. Oh God, we're going off piste here. But it was great. And then I got the job, and that's, I suppose, how I have got to this point now.
And I suppose, Caitlin, to a degree, I mean, I also saw you in Housemates last year at the Sherman in Cardiff, and you were multi-rolling in that as well, weren't you?
Yes, I think multi-rolling seems to be something that keeps happening.
I was going to say, are you trying to catch up for lost time from the pandemic when so you're getting all these roles?
That's it. And somebody said, I think it was Georgina, who plays Christine Bott. She said we were laughing in the dressing room the other day because I was like, oh, it must be quite nice to have one part in something and actually do that. And she was like, what did she say? She said something like, yeah, because you've been playing quite a lot of old women recently, haven't you? And I was like, I know. And when I'm old, I can't play the young ones anymore. So I need to keep the age down for as long as possible. No, but it's really good fun. I love multi-role. I feel now that if I was to do something just, all the way through it without a costume change, I'd probably feel a bit weird about it. I'd probably be like,
Yeah.
I
mean, and also, sorry, before I come on to you, Keiran, I've got to mention as well, Caitlin, as well, you're having quite a bit of success as a singer at the moment as well, aren't you?
It seems so, yes.
Yes. I just wanted to congratulate you on that, because I think Gold is a terrific track, and it's even falling onto my Spotify playlist now when I'm pressing the random stuff on the morning. It's coming in, and the DJ X is playing your track as well. So that's wonderful. So there you are.
Very much.
And how about yourself, Keiran? How have you? What's your path been like towards Operation Julie?
I suppose I came from, well, when I was about 18 and I was leaving school, I was unsure of whether I should do like music or drama, but I'd only really just started drama when I was about 17 or something, and I liked it, but I thought, oh no, I've always wanted to be a musician, so I chose music and I went to do music. Then when I came back to Wales, and I always thought, oh, maybe I should have done the other path, I thought, no, I'm on this path now. And I didn't realize that acting musical shows actually existed where you could combine the two things. I always thought I'd have to choose one and leave the other one behind.
Yeah.
So I went for an audition, what I thought was drums, for Gainor's show about Tom Jones about 12 years ago. And and I walked in thinking I was going to be in the pit band. But then they gave me a script and they said, all right, go outside now, learn this, and come back in and perform it. I was like, okay. Yeah, so that was my awakening then to the fact that actor musician shows actually existed, and you could do the two disciplines, you could combine the two disciplines which you really love, and you didn't have to leave one behind. Because I used to watch plays and think, if I tried that, I wonder if I could have done it, and then so it's great for me because now I get to run behind the drums and have my fix there, come in and do a scene, and and hopefully make people laugh and cry and have a good time and stuff. Yeah. So since then, I suppose it's led on to more and more of those shows, and I still keep my hand in with the music and stuff. Yeah.
And he's a writer now as well.
Wow.
Well, Gainor's responsible for this. Yeah. During the pandemic, she gave me a grant from Arts Council of Wales to do some writing. So I wrote a musical during the pandemic, which I actually put on this year. Yeah, in my hometown of Treorchy. Yeah. Yeah, it's called Turning the Wheel if you fancy a listen.
I'm amazed you've all got time to come and do this show. I mean, this is incredible. Looking at the role of Richie Parry, which you're playing as well. I mean, did you sort of do any research to 70s policing yourself?
Well, I suppose, like Geinor said, you know, I was a bit of a fan of Life on Mars, and that kind of old school style shines through in that series, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose like a lot of my guidance came from Geinor, and she's got contacts with, like I say, his daughters, who give us a real insight into the kind of person he was.
Yeah.
I think for me, and Geinor will probably tell you this as well. I suppose I've always played a comic characters in the past, so I had to be kind of straight there with this guy.
Yeah.
I always felt like I wasn't doing enough on stage, but Geinor was like, no. Richie Parry's like, no nonsense. You know, he just comes in, so I'm standing there thinking, not really doing much here, but I suppose that's what's required of this character. You know, he just comes in, gets the job done, and off. You know,
and he bounces well off PC Evans as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got a soft spot for PC Evans, but he's I suppose PC Evans is a bit more laid back, and Richie's like, come on, you know, let's get it done. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, and I also thought the balance when Dick Lee comes into it as well. I mean, and shakes the whole show up a bit. I think that's quite good too.
It's great. I think it's a great like little culture clash between like England and Wales. You know, I suppose what I'm feeling from it is that maybe as a Welshman myself, like I don't, you know, we see somebody coming over from England and telling us how to do our job kind of thing. Not in a horrible way, but in a kind of, they think they know better because they police London, but they don't realise there's different challenges, even though we're only a little community in Aberystwyth, you know. They don't understand our patch and we don't understand their patch. And I feel like Dick Lee's character is like, right, I'm going to go over and I'm going to sort out the Welsh boys. And Richie is kind of fighting against that, I think, in the show.
Yeah.